How did the colors blue and pink get assigned to boys and girls? Subscribe. Universal Tutor. The association of blue with boys and pink with girls is a relatively recent cultural convention, and it has not always been the case that these colors are linked to specific genders. In fact, up until the mid-20th century, the opposite was true. Pink was considered a more masculine color, while blue was seen as more feminine. The origins of this shift can be traced back to the 19th century, when gendered marketing began to take off. At the time, manufacturers started producing clothes and toys specifically designed for either boys or girls, and they often used different colors to distinguish between the two. Pink, being a softer and more delicate version of red, was initially associated with boys, who were expected to be strong and active, while blue, being a calmer and more subdued color, was seen as more appropriate for girls. However, in the early 20th century, this trend began to reverse itself. As gender roles became more rigidly defined, marketers and advertisers started promoting pink as a feminine color and blue as a masculine one. By the 1950s, this association had become firmly entrenched in Western culture, and it has remained largely unchallenged ever since. One factor that contributed to this shift was the rise of gendered marketing in the post-World War II era. Toy companies, in particular, began to focus heavily on creating gender-specific toys, with boys' toys typically being colored blue and girls' toys being pink. This reinforced the idea that certain colors were inherently masculine or feminine, and it helped solidify the connection between blue and boys and pink and girls. Another factor was societal attitudes towards gender at the time. During the 1950s and 60s, traditional gender roles were strongly emphasized, and any deviation from these expectations was often viewed as abnormal or even pathological. As such, parents may have felt pressure to conform to these norms when raising their children, dressing boys in blue and girls in pink as a way of reinforcing their respective gender identities. Today, the association of blue and pink with boys and girls remains deeply ingrained in our culture, despite efforts to challenge these gendered conventions. While some argue that these distinctions are harmless, others contend that they limit children's expression and perpetuate harmful gender stereotypes. Ultimately, the history of how blue and pink came to be associated with boys and girls serves as a reminder of the fluid and constantly evolving nature of gender norms. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like.